As we think about the racial wealth gap, I think what's critical is that we have to take a multifaceted approach. That as a community foundation serving the Chicago region, we really tried and worked with Urban and Shared Prosperity to hone in on a set of strategies that we had the most impact on in terms of what a region, what a state, and what a city can do to really impact and change the trajectory of wealth accumulation and wealth support for people of color. So for us, Shared Prosperity allowed us to start that conversation in our region. And for us now, it's really identifying key interventions that we want to support. We need to reach the public sector as we think about the wealth gap overall. So Shared Prosperity is helping us think through and even message in a different way as we think about who we want to bring to the table. We want others to know that cities and regions have a role to play in decreasing the racial wealth gap. A lot of the conversation is happening at the federal level, which absolutely should continue to occur. But we think we're at a moment where we can begin to innovate in regions and in cities, and we're really excited to do that. We have to take a multifaceted approach. I'm hearing too often sort of a one solution approach to the racial wealth gap, and this is a complex set of issues, whether it's dealing with ensuring people of color have stable incomes, to growing assets in communities of color, to addressing and tackling the issue of debt. But we also want to recognize that structural reform, whether it's income taxation, whether it's property taxation, really need to come alongside racial wealth gap work. As we know, because of the structural practices at play, whether or not you're educated, that income gap still persists. And so really kind of unpacking some of these widely perceived notions of how we solve the problem. And I think also just talking about the racial wealth gap has allowed us to think past just income. That we know income is a point in time, and unfortunately it does not paint the picture of if a family can weather a financial storm, a recession, can hand over assets to the next generation. And I think we really need to start to paint the picture of overall financial health for people of color.